So Marjorie Taylor Greene has returned. She's returned with a new conspiracy theory. I ain't gonna lie, the Jewish space lasers was actually crazy. Insane that someone in Congress actually believes in Jewish space lasers. She's returned, and I gotta give her credit. She did have a statement before this one that really marked her return. She returned, and she, told Laura Loomer that your racism has gone a little bit too far. A little bit too far, making fun of Kamala Harris for being Indian, saying the White House will smell like curry, and, there's going to be customer service phone calls going on. Too far for Marge. But she's returned for real this time. And she is now accusing the Democrats or the Jews. Wouldn't want you guys to feel excluded again. Don't want you, welcome you in on this conspiracy theory. She's saying I'm just saying, in 2024, I don't know what they means when we're talking about MAGA. When we are talking about far-right conspiracy theorists, super ultra-nationalist MAGAites, I don't know what they mean. So I'm just going to welcome the Jews into the conversation, bring y'all into the group chat for the sake of not just diversity, but also because they could mean anything. So she's saying they can control the weather. Now, why would they control the weather? Well, according to Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Democratic gods have formed up the weather to kill MAGAites in America. Not making this up. Let's look. So Marjorie Taylor Greene says, this is a map of hurricane-affected areas with an overlay of the electoral map by political party. And damn, you can't even type? You were gone for 2 months. You couldn't learn how to type in 2 months. This is a map of hurricane-affected areas with an overlay of electoral map by political party. Oh my God. With an overlay of an electoral map organized, defined by political party. You couldn't have put something in here so I could... Damn. An overlay of electoral map by political party shows how hurricane devastation could affect the election. Because, lives being lost, that's But Trump supporters dying? Oh no. These people are crazy. Bit crazy for real. So here's the map. And the hurricane came up this way and then it went like that way. You guys can't see the cursor. It's all good. It doesn't matter. But it basically came up on like the west side of Florida near like the Tallahassee area, if I recall correctly, and then went like straight to like the east side of Georgia, like all through like the Carolinas. And according to her, this is a plan, a plot, a conspiracy even by they. Again, don't know who they is. If I have Jewish viewers, I'm not saying y'all should like self-snitch and be like, yeah, we unleashed the hurricane, but it seems like she's trying to blame the hurricane on a group of people. It could be the federal government. It could be the Jewish community. You never know with MAGA. But she's blaming a natural disaster on a conspiracy. A natural disaster, which, mind you, does not care about whether you are a Democrat or a Republican. These have been happening long before the United States of America even existed. I'm sure nature has been doing its thing before we even pulled up to this continent as a species. She believes the hurricane was a weapon of the Democratic Party. Apparently. Now, how does this follow? I'm sure you're asking that. I'll show you how it follows. Yes, they can control the weather. It's ridiculous for anyone to lie and say it can't be done. Now, this is 2024. I've shown y'all neo-Nazis screaming at mixed children. I've shown y'all black people turning on one another because they're trying to compete to see who can be accepted by white supremacy first. I've shown y'all all manner of insanity, delusion, buffoonery, tomfoolery. I've shown y'all everything that this MAGA movement has brought about over the course of the last 8 years. This shit right here is crazy. What the fuck is you talking about? Yes, they can control the weather. Who is they? Who is they? 30,000 people liked this tweet. Shout out to Harry Sisson, by the way. 30,000 people liked this tweet, bro. 30,000 people in this country resonate with the idea that possibly, maybe, could be Joe Biden pressed not the genocide button, pressed the hurricane button and wiped out MAGAites, Trumpites, Trump sexuals. Like, bro. And you know, the funny thing is, Joe Biden has never, ever, ever tried to withhold emergency aid to any state ever. But you know who has? Donald Trump. I feel like Trump has like a list of like evil to-do list. And on that list, there's a whole bunch of just duplicitous, disrespectful, dishonest, malevolent things that he just ticks off every year. And I ain't gonna lie, he's doing a good job. If there's one thing he's been consistent with, is the fuckery. I gotta lie. I ain't gonna lie. Trump, you've done an amazing job with that evil list. To even think of withholding aid from a state is just disgusting. But Trump manages to he outdoes himself every time. It's inspiring. She sits there and says, yes, they can control the weather, and it's ridiculous for anyone to lie and say it can't be done. This woman has not provided any evidence to back this up. I have not seen any sort of documents to prove that the Department of Defense can control and manipulate or even spawn natural disasters. And yet she chooses to just send this stuff out into the ether to compel her voters to just believe anything. And this is why I now believe MAGA is an evil movement, because in order for you to do something like this, you do have to be off in the head. And you have to also not just be crazy, but just malevolent, malicious. You have to genuinely know in your heart of hearts, like, if I type this and send it, many of my supporters, many of my constituents will believe what I'm saying and will like literally lose faith not only in the government, but in the world. This idea that the government spawns natural disasters to kill Trump supporters, there are Democrats living in the South. I don't know why they're acting like it's the antebellum. There are people of color, white progressives. There's all sorts of demographics in the South who vote blue. Hurricanes don't ask that, bro. This isn't like the Old Testament where the angel of death comes knocking on specific doors. This is real life. Natural disasters don't ask questions. They just destroy you. They just delete you. Click. They just get rid of you. They don't ask. Who are you? They don't ask that. Nigga, they shut the power off, kill your motherfucker, fly you in, all type of shit. Like, why are we even pretending like natural disasters as, I mean, okay, I'll be fair to Marjorie. If you, someone who's watching my video, have been personally asked a question by a hurricane or tornado or thunder, lightning, any form of natural disaster has ever communicated with you verbally with the English language, it has ever happened, comment below. But I'm willing to bet it's never happened. She knows what she's doing. She knows the poison she's spreading. She understands and fully comprehends what she's doing here. She is doing everything in her power to compel her voting base to hate and despise this country, the establishment that keeps our nation functioning, destroy any and all faith in our science, our Department of Defense, to compel every single Trump supporter to believe that every single part of the government is conspiring against Trump. Even hurricanes don't like Trump, apparently, at the behest of Joe Biden. Joe Biden picks up the phone, he makes a few calls, and hurricanes just blast through the South. There's no point in me trying to reason with MAGA. There's no point in me trying to, but come on, guys. Can you see the light? Can you understand? There's no point. This chick, bro, you've been gone for bro, you couldn't, bro, really? 2 months you were gone. 2 months. You couldn't do anything productive in that span of time? You couldn't learn anything productive? Oh my God. And then she sits there and says, it's ridiculous for anyone to lie and say it can't be done. Who is you? Since when were you a meteorologist? Since when did you work for the DOD? I don't believe for 1 second she gets briefed about anything of that magnitude. If we could, ain't no way she would know about it. You can't convince me. You can't make me believe the DOD would ever let some shit like that just fall into Marjorie Taylor Greene's hands. Ain't no fucking way. Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is what we dealing with, y'all. Hurricanes spawn to destroy Trump supporters, because apparently that's just the only demographic that lives in the South. The only demographic that lives in this region of the country are just Trump supporters. No one else. Okay. The MAGA brain rot is literally, I can't, bro. I can't, y'all. This is y'all. if this doesn't compel you to vote in November, I don't know what will. Like, I just, like, bro, we have congresswomen who believe, bro. Congresswomen who genuinely believe that, like, the weather can be used to kill Trump supporters. That's where we're at right now. If you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, bro. I'm done.